Some students have been asking me the best way to take notes while they're watching my short videos on YouTube. So this video is designed just to show you one style. It's not the only way you can take notes. It's called the Cornell style of note taking. You can take notes in another way if you like. But this is just a good way to show you what you can do while you're watching the videos. It also makes you a nice active listener while you're watching videos or listening to a podcast. So I hope you find this helpful. Try this style. See how it works for you. Okay, let's start.
The first thing you need to do with Cornell Notes is to split the page. So you draw a line vertically and then another line horizontally. Now in the main area on the right is where you take notes normally. And on the left you're going to ask yourself questions about those notes. Down the bottom you write a summary. So now let's see how this person does those things. As was discussed in the other video, task response is a very important part of your rating for task 2. This video will focus on argument essays, so one-sided and two-sided argument essays. We'll compare some common mistakes with high-level samples. Remember, we're focusing on task response, not the other criteria like coherence and cohesion. When you've finished with one part of the listening, then you go to the left-hand column. Now, this is the difference with Cornell Notes. So you can write a short summary there of the main ideas, or, and I like to do this, you ask yourself a question in that column. And then you can slide a piece of paper across your notes and try and test yourself. What is the idea? So you've got your little question there as we have here. What is in this video? And then you try and remember what it is. So that's a good way of remembering things. Or grammar or language. Quick recap. How is task response marked? Let's do this very quickly. The length of the answer, don't copy from the rubric. The rubric means the question. Those words are not counted in your word count. 250 words, remember. It's very important that all parts of the prompt are discussed. This is true for cause and effect essays or cause and solution as well, but maybe even more important in argument essays. It's important that your argument is relevant and on topic. The main ideas, as we've explained before, must be supported, they must be extended and explained. The concept of PEE, which we've discussed as well. We need to be wary of overgeneralized arguments as well. If you want to get a 7 or an 8 especially, we cannot be too general. We need a clear position throughout the response. Now this is very awkward in a two-sided essay sometimes, so we need to discuss and think about how you're going to do that. Now let's have a look at a one-sided argument. We'll start with the easier one, which is the one-sided. This is a poor sample as well, so we're going to be looking for mistakes. Of course, the first thing, just so we're clear, what is the question? So spend some time reading the question. So it's obviously about television. Remember, one good way to make sure you're on topic and your argument's relative is to simplify the question. So this question is about that TV is no good and people should do active things instead. So let's look at this essay from a student. We know it's a poor sample, so we're looking for task response mistakes. There is the introduction. Now let's come and highlight some of those mistakes right now. So for a start, there was no opinion. Remember, at the start of today, we've just mentioned that you need a clear opinion. This must be mentioned in the thesis statement at the start. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree? The first body paragraph. Immediately we've got a contradiction here. Can you see this? So this is a good example of not a clear position throughout. So the person actually says a good point about TV, and then they say that it's hazardous to health. So that's a problem there. The next body paragraph is actually quite good. You see a good explanation there. It's very short, but it's actually okay and well explained there. However, the third one, this is an off-topic paragraph. If you come back to the question, it says it's comparing TV to healthy active pursuits. There is no mention or no discussion of other kinds of passive activities. This person has gone off topic. So this may be a problem in step 2 when they're thinking of their ideas. They should have been looking very carefully at the question and they would not have made that kind of mistake. The problem with the conclusion, still no opinion. So this is very typical of students writing sometimes. where their opinion is not clear. This is definitely an opinion essay. You must give your opinion. It must be clear throughout the response. The final thing to do with Cornell notes is in the bottom area, you write a summary of your notes, just a very brief summary in your words. Use the column down the left and the main notes, but mainly the column down the left to summarize everything that was on that page. And that's it. That's a good way to take notes.